Boys, what's good? I'm back with an absolute sauce banger for you guys today. I'm going to be going over everything I did recovery wise in the past 90 days to take my physique from this to this and everything I learned, right? Everything I learned mentally, all the hardships I faced in the process, and why you should do it too, right? So let's just hop right into the video, right? So, boom. Why did I even start? In life, genuinely, I hit a plateau. I hit a plateau with my discipline. I was scrolling reels. I was doing bullshit, doing nothing that was conducive for my goals, right? And also in the gym, I hit a huge plateau. Like, I was not gaining any muscle, not gaining any strength, just eating bullshit all day after my workout. I didn't know how to meal prep. I didn't know what to eat, what the right foods were, about micronutrients. All I knew was macro, 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 macro. And that's where a lot of people fuck up, which is what I'm going to explain further on in this video, right? So boom, I was no progress in my life, genuinely. Zero to minimal progress for months on end, which leads us into what I was actually doing. Like, what was the protocol? So I said to myself, okay, Keen, let's write down all these things we're going to do. We're going to do for the next 90 days. We're going to see how it is. We're going to see the progress. We're going to see if this is actually worth it, right? So boom, I did no ultra processed food. I'm talking no seed oils. I'm talking no fucking bullshit, no refined sugars, no nothing, right? No nothing, just straight whole foods, whole foods, whole foods, right? And I tried to do zero caffeine 10 hours before bed, right? So you need to understand that sleep is the most important thing. Sleep is the most important thing when it comes to gains. Your diet and your sleep, most importantly, right? You can't outtrain bad recovery, which is what I'm trying to say. Through this process, the only thing that changed was my recovery. I was doing the same workouts. I was doing push-pull legs. I didn't change to upper lower. I didn't change to the most optimal split. I just changed my recovery. And the fucking results were drastic, as you can see in the first part of the video, right? So no food, 1 to 2 hours before bed, no blue light before bed, morning sun, everything for sleep and diet, most importantly. So what was I eating? Eggs, beef, raw honey, fruit, rice, pasta, etc. You name it, like kiwis, bananas, just whole foods, getting your micronutrients in, getting everything in, focusing on high energy, because a lot of people they hit their macro goals, but they feel like shit. They feel like fucking shit. And that's how I felt before. I was just eating whatever my parents cooked me, whatever was in the cabinet, I wasn't buying my own groceries. I wasn't doing anything. But once I started locking in on the fucking diet and sleeping correctly, that is when I saw all those gains, right? So I was occasionally doing things like grounding also, that's good for regulating your cortisol, which is a big thing for sleep, right? If you have high cortisol throughout the day, your sleep is going to be shit. And if your sleep is shit, your recovery is going to be shit, right? Which is the most important thing about the gym. Recovery, recovery, recovery. You want to hit the muscle 2 times a week minimum. 2 times a week minimum, right? If you're not doing that, you're not going to grow, right? So that's why they came out with all these splits like full body every other day, because you're hitting every muscle group more frequently and you're recovering more frequently, leading to more gains, right? Your strength is going to skyrocket. Everything's going to skyrocket, your energy, So, boom. I'm going to make a full day of eating video soon, but what I would recommend is I would eat minimum of 5 eggs a day, a pound of ground beef per day, just like a tablespoon of raw honey. You can do it before bed. It's really good, but raw honey also before the gym is very good because you can fill your glycogen, so you have more energy, the pumps are better, and you just feel better, right? You feel better. It's raw, organic, None of that processed bullshit. It's not gonna fuck up your gut. It's not gonna do none of that shit. You're just gonna feel good, right? Fruit feeds into the raw honey. Rice, pasta, those are your carb sources, right? You want to regulate how much you're eating per day. You don't want to fucking have 80% carb diet. Like my diet consisted of carbs mainly, and I felt like shit. Another thing, you don't want to eat carbs right when you wake up. I recommend at least fasting for 2 hours a day minimum before you eat your first meal. Whether you're bulking or cutting, it doesn't matter. What I found for me as a former skinny person who struggles with eating meals all the time, hated food, my relationship with food was fucked up like for the first few years of my lifting journey because I was eating bullshit. What I found was my gut health was fucked. And that is why I couldn't get down any of the food that I needed to get down, right? So when you switch to a whole food diet, your gut, think of your gut as a microbiome, right? Think of your gut as an environment, right? If you're putting bullshit in the environment, you're gonna feel like shit. Eat good foods, eat whole foods, and you'll feel great, bro. You will feel amazing. You'll have way more energy for the gym. You'll have way more just energy for doing other things that you need to get done in life. It doesn't matter if you're working a job. It doesn't matter if you're, you know, trying to start a business. It doesn't matter. You're going to have all that extra energy, all that excess energy to flow into other places. So, boom, that's the protocol. So, what did I see in my physical transformation? In the gym, so much focus. Like, immense focus to the point where, like, I haven't had a bad lift in so long. You could, like, once I optimize my sleep, once I optimize my food, my diet, everything, that's when the fucking gym, the gym doesn't feel like a chore. The gym doesn't feel like something you have to do. It's something you get to do. Like, the gym is probably one of, if not my most fun parts of the day. I love it, and that's all due to my diet, because I'm making constant progress every single time I step in the gym. I know I'm gonna make progress because my recovery, my systems, I'm training hard. Everything's in place. So, of course, you're gonna feel great. I know those things are happening, right? Like back then when my physique was shitty, my physique was shit, my energy was low, all that shit. Of course, I don't want to go to the gym because I know every single time I go into the gym, I'm not gonna make no progress because I'm eating like shit, my sleep is shit, I'm doing bullshit all day. Of course, it's gonna be trash, right? So what I also experienced is all day clean energy, right? I was not crashing. Like, I used to go to the gym at this was my shitty fucking morning method, right? I used to wake up at 4:30 a.m. for the discipline, right? But what I used to do is I would boom, just straight 100 grams of carbs to the dome right when I woke up. Of course, you're gonna feel like shit. Then I'd go to the gym at 7 a.m. I'd feel like shit. Don't want to work out, making no progress. What? Of course, the gym isn't gonna be motivating, bro. Of course, you're not gonna want to go. You don't have those things optimized in place, right? So what I also experienced was like fucked up crashes right after the gym because I would slam some pre-workout or a Red Bull or a Monster or some type of caffeinated beverage. And once that 2 p.m. mark hit, I was done. No energy, nothing, couldn't do anything. Brain fog all day. If you want brain fog, if you want to set yourself up for failure, trust me. Just take some carbs in the morning. Eat right away, and you'll feel like shit. What I also noticed um through my what I also noticed was faster muscle recovery and strength. My strength, I went from not even being able to bench 200 pounds to being able to bench almost 300 pounds in 90 days. Genuinely. Genuinely. I went from barely being able to do the 80s on incline press to doing the 110s. Like, the strength is going to be phenomenal. The strength gains, you're gonna, because before I wasn't recovering in time, so I'd just go hit another damaged muscle and I'd accumulated all this fatigue. And of course, I'm not gonna perform well in the gym, right? And through that, I also noticed digestive issues are all gone. Like, I used to feel like shit. I used to be bloated all the time. No definition in my arms. Like it was just horrible, bro. It was horrible. You know, I just felt like shit all the time. And through that, I noticed my skin got very clear. I used to have very bad acne because I used to have a lot of sugar. A lot of sugar, which made me very health conscious. Now the only sugar I get is from fruit. So, boom. Skin cleared, less inflammation. You're good to go. And the last one, my mental transformation. Let me get to it. Woo! There we go. Boom. My mental transformation. No more blood sugar crashes, like I said. You know, my mental, I have a lot of energy now throughout the day. I can focus on tasks that need to be done. I can focus on anything that gets in my way, and I will do it no matter how I feel, right? This morning, kind of woke up a little drowsy. Hop in the cold shower. We're good to go. Hop in the cold shower. I haven't even eaten yet. It's 1 p.m. I've been up since 7 or 8. So I feel good. I feel good. If you want to have that mental clarity, do not eat carbs until you do the thing you need to do. That's what I've been doing, and it's been working really well for me, right? Another thing, I have become immensely extroverted. Like, I was not like introverted or anything. Like, I didn't have social anxiety, which is a myth, or anything like that. But I just like to talk to people more, and through that, I feel like the energy bounces off of people, right? When I get into the gym, my physique is like one of the best in the gym. And I have a lot of people coming up to me asking for advice or saying I look sick or doing that. You know, so that's a fucking reward in itself, right? If you skip the instant gratification of eating a donut, right? Eating a bullshit fucking just eating bullshit all day. You get the fucking reward of people coming up to you and saying, "Oh, your physique is amazing, bro. Your physique is great. You know, what do you do? Like, what's your diet?" I've had so many people ask me, "What's my diet?" They think I hopped on steroids or something, bro. Like, genuinely, I've had some people say, "Oh, bro hopped on." No, I switched my diet, bro. I switched my diet. So, boom. Clear thoughts, better ideas. For this video, even yeah, for this video as an example, like I just cranked it out, you know, put all my effort into it, and now I'm recording it for you guys, you know. I wouldn't be able to do that if I was eating bullshit. I promise you. If you go back to my old videos, they were all short. They were all just like there's no like intricacies about the video. It's pretty basic, you know. There's honestly not even a lot of value. You know, I wouldn't be able to create these kind of videos without having everything optimized, right? So, boom. Fewer cravings, more self control. How you do one thing is how you do everything, bro. I don't care how you feel, I don't care what you think. How you do one thing is going to determine how you do everything, right? If you do one thing half assed in your life, you're going to do everything half assed in your life. You're going to be a fucking bullshitter. You don't want to go around bullshitting in life because every single time you take the shortcut, you're building yourself a harder path in the long run. You know, you're going to have to get through all the struggles. You're going to have to get through everything you're avoiding at some point in your life. So why not go through it when you're at the bottom, when you're where you are now? Which is why personal development is so serious. It's the most important thing. The most important thing. How bad do you want it, bro? Do you want to genuinely keep staying in the same place? Do you want to keep, drifting through life, eating bullshit, feeling like shit all the time? Nobody wants to feel like shit. If it was handed to you that, oh, take this pill and you have your dream physique, you have your dream energy, you have your dream mentality, you have everything. Everyone would take it, bro. Everyone would take it. Nobody wants to go through the hard shit. So go through the hard shit and you'll get what you seek. You'll get all the rewards you want in life. Which, hey, all ties back to this video, bro. If your diet is shit, if your recovery is shit, if you don't hit the gym, if you don't do anything that's gonna, transfer energy into all areas of your life, you're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna not wanna wake up and do the things you need to do every day, you know? So if you're still watching this, if you took any value from this video, go ahead and subscribe. I drop videos every Wednesday and Sunday, and sometimes even more than that. So yeah, stay blessed. Have a great Wednesday if you're watching this on a Wednesday. Have a good one. Peace. I'll see y'all on the next one.